Let's say someone visits your website, we'll make an automation directly to your Slack channel that will give your email, phone number, and so on using a channel partner. So we can build you not only a business development function, but sales channels out of thin air.
Welcome to the first of many case studies with Next Gen AI. Today we have on Hayk Ghon. He is the co-founder of HUI, and I'm going to kind of get you to expand upon that a little bit. Before we jump into things, Hayk, how did you come to find yourself in this industry and doing the work that you're doing?
Initially, my background was in sales. I've done anything from door-to-door event-based, sold medical devices, solar, you name it, I've probably sold it. Moved to software sales as I progressed in my career, and I was looking for something long-term with an expanding market cap and market. So got into software sales, started as an SDR, BDR role, and I realized that these guys are not prioritizing cost-effective revenue streams, right? So the whole SDR role and the BDR role was created when the tech boom happened. Companies were prioritizing revenue over cost-effective methods of bringing top-line revenue, and that's how the SDR role was created. As an SDR myself, I realized that this could be easily, not really automated, with the help of automation, could be outsourced to an agency. This allows companies to shorten their sales cycle. This allows the companies to cut down costs dramatically in their sales side, and gives them autonomy to scale and scale down without having to fire, pay insurance, and so on. So it's more of a cost-effective way for software companies or any company to get them more revenue and more meetings in their calendar.
So in terms of developing out the tools and the software and all that type of thing, what was that journey like? Did you kind of start from scratch? You have a background in that sort of thing? Did you partner with somebody? How did that come to be?
Yeah, so two of my co-founders are, they founded a software company called CleanList. It's basically a scraping tool with intent data. So we own 440 million contacts of various business sectors with really good validated email and phone numbers. And that's where the idea started. We kind of had the full picture. So we knew the softwares that were bringing on results from my previous role when I was working at Limis. As we scaled up, we realized, okay, we literally have everything that we need to do to take a company from having no business development to actually having a full function built for them. So automation tools, softwares that, for example, lets you so direct automation to Slack. Like, let's say someone visits your website, we'll make an automation directly to your Slack channel that will give your email, phone number, and so on using a channel partner. So we can build you not only a business development function, but sales channels out of thin air, if I can put it this way.
Ooh, okay. So from one former SDR to another, I know that there's this challenge of kind of overcoming the initial, I guess, resistance to the whole sales process, because everybody, we're all looking for solutions and things like that to help kind of solve problems and that sort of thing, but nobody likes to be sold to or tricked or even coerced into something. So how do you address that, the human element in your automations and things like that when you're implementing some of these things?
So depending on the client, depending on their needs, what they really want. So let's say we are working with a big accounting firm. They care more about personalization. They care more about building a relationship rather than just mass outreach. So we'll have a different approach. Usually what the companies want to do, they want a stable, kind of predictive way of predicting their revenue streams, or how much meetings or how much opportunities will someone bring in this month, and they can make their predictions. The way we do it is by having a really, really good email automation sequence. By I mean really good, we leverage AI for every single email. So I'm not sure how familiar you are with email automation. It's been around for a long time, since 2001. Like, open rates and overall reply rates for the industry has just been plummeting because everybody's used to it. They know what's going on. Kind of the way you tackle that is you have to be extremely personal to them. There's two ways of doing it. You can do it manually. You can also leverage AI. That's what we do currently. We have a software, one of our channel partner software, that lets you scan their LinkedIn, gives you variable keywords that every single email that gets sent out, automatically the keyword would be changed. So the email domain health just goes up the roof. The open rates go off the roof because they cannot detect that this is spam because every single email is different.
Wow, that's really powerful for getting people to connect with you a little bit more intentionally in the sales
Mhm.
process.
100%, yeah.
How have you seen that benefiting your clients kind of in the short term and in the long term? Because there's a point there where there's a I guess we'll call it a handoff, right? Where the automations do a lot of that heavy lifting and the qualifying and getting people interested, and then there's like a moment where it gets passed off. How do you guys balance that?
With every single client of ours, we determine what does a sales qualified lead mean to them personally, right? For some clients, is the company revenue size, title name, how long the person's been in the company, is it a new hire or not? So before we start any kind of outreach, we determine what does a sales qualified lead look like to you. Is there certain questions that they need to answer? Is there some certain interest that need to show in order for us to say, okay, this is a sales qualified lead and they're ready to move forward with a discovery call or a demo. So it's about understanding what your client really wants from you. I like to frame it this way: we're more of an input machine. So as much specific information, as much information you give us, you will basically get the outcome. So if you tell us very vague criteria of your sales qualified lead, you will get back the vague leads. If you're very specific and you're collected with your information, you're going to get good results.
And so making that handoff actually becomes a little bit more powerful because while you're kind of doing that qualifying, you're also doing some data collection, it sounds like.
Yeah. So a lot of companies would also use us for market insight. So let's say someone would say, okay, great. You guys could not break into Sun Chemicals or BASA, which are huge chemical corporations. Can you tell us why for future? And we're able to provide that information. So not only we're giving you guys leads, we're giving you market insight, and we're giving you guys account information and account mapping that could be used for further outreach. So let's say Sun Chemicals got back to us saying, we have this project going on for this quarter. We'll get back to you guys from this. You are going to get all that information passed up to you, and you own that data, and we will make sure that it's in your CRM or whatever platform that you use.
Okay, so that kind of sort of touches on some of the other questions I have is like third-party integrations, like connecting with existing CRMs or other tools that are out there. I know like Go High Level is a very common one, or ClickFunnels, that sort of thing. How do you guys navigate that sort of thing when you're working with your clients? I get that there's a lot of steps, I guess, maybe in onboarding and connecting everything together. And so it might be like at first it's a really overwhelming process to get somebody on board with something like that. How do you guys navigate that?
So in reality, it's a bit more simpler than that, right? So there's two aspects of it. So first is the handoff. So we need to connect their a Calendly link or any other, a link or a spreadsheet that they can know this was the call booked from this company, from this region. So once they have that set up, usually it's just a Calendly link that we get added to. Second part of is connecting to their CRM and HubSpot. We use make.com. We can make a custom integration straight to your HubSpot, Salesforce, and so on. Some folks already have that integration into the Calendly link. So let's say we book a prospect in from their calendar. It will automatically just show on their HubSpot as a channel partner, HUI Consulting, which lead came in. So we are more personalized, and like we'll work with our client to kind of build that integrity with their system. So it's not a one-time solution that we have. Every time is different that we have to figure it out, right? Sometimes we even help the clients build their Calendly integration. They're like, "Oh, I did not know this." I'm like, "Perfect. Like, we'll get you to that point, right?"
Yeah, that's something too, because with AI just in general, I know it's been around technically for a considerable amount of time, longer than most people think. But as of recently, OpenAI and ChatGPT and that sort of the hype around AI development has kind of reached a peak here in terms of general interest for the public, for businesses, for everybody else. What other automations and tools like that are you guys leveraging inside of the things that you're building?
In terms of strictly automation tools, it's pretty simple. Like we we like using automation
Mm.
in terms of collecting and recording calls also. So we have software, air call, gets to record, gives us a transcript. Our actual clients, let's say we booked a call for them and they want to hear what happened, what did the fractional SDR said on the call. So we kind of use it to capture and directly integrate into our Salesforce notes or BDR notes account so they can directly see that link and access the call at any time. Regarding any other automation, I feel like make.com, Clay make it pretty easy for you to build basic no-code automation for your softwares. But for our line of business, it's very personalized. So we'll have to understand what the customer's needs are in order for us to build them in automation. So yeah, we can build automation, AI.
So with the communication methods that you guys are using, you're using primarily like texting and emailing and that sort of thing?
So yeah, we have a LinkedIn automation tool. So we do outreach from LinkedIn, email, phone number. We had a voicemail campaign for Go High Level for some of our clients that, let's say you're a general contractor, you're not going to be on LinkedIn. Let's be honest, right? You're going to be on your phone. So
Yeah.
a voicemail that you usually check your voicemail also. So we'll adjust to the industry that you're in. Based on the feedback that you gave us. So let's say you told us voicemail works great for us. Perfect. We'll try that out. You said as LinkedIn's been, doing most of our bookings, we'll check out your LinkedIn also. So it's about understanding what exactly the segment needs and what exactly has worked so far.
So you've used a lot of different examples here in terms of just like businesses or ideas. Is there a specific industry or set of industries that you guys are focused on in terms of who you're serving right now?
Primarily, we started with industrial clients. What we realized, the opportunity in that the manufacturing industry is very outdated in terms of the software they use, in terms of the business development they do. It's very old school. And coming from like a Silicon Valley backed software company and like using like the top of the nut softwares, it was a really easy transition. And you would be surprised for some of our clients, they don't even know like email automation existed, right? So in industrial segment, manufacturing mostly, and of course SaaS, like we're heavy in SaaS as well. I'll say it's a like 60-40 mix between software and industrial clients.
Wow, yeah, there's I guess being so close to the painting here, it's easy to get lost in the weeds and forget that there are people out there that still don't use a computer or a cell phone on a regular basis. And so it's like, how are you connecting with these people when they're essentially dinosaurs in terms of their technological advancement?
Yeah. So for example, if you're reaching out to an engineer from like a Fortune 1000 manufacturer and this guy has no idea, right?
Mm.
So you have to resonate with your prospect at every step of the way. If they're more comfortable talking to you over the phone, there's no reason for you to reach out through email, right? No reason, right? So understanding the client, understanding the prospects, whatever they're comfortable with, will continue the conversation that way. So funny story, one time, I've in my previous role, I was booking a call with this engineer. I'm not going to name the company, but the dude did not know how to use Zoom, right? Honestly, he did not know how to use Zoom, right? So I had to kind of help him out, which is fine. Like I said, like nobody needs to know this. It's something that people can learn, and I've shown him how to do Zoom, like hold his hand and drag him until the discovery call happened. And sometimes you just got to go the extra step, right? We're in the field of creating revenue and generating revenue, and it's important to kind of look outside of the picture in the box. And if you need to kind of run them through Zoom, why not?
Yeah, that's super important is meeting the people that you're working with where they're at, both like mentally and I guess technologically. That makes complete sense. With the advent of how fast everything is changing, what is it that or maybe your whole company or you personally are looking forward to in terms of like new things that are coming out or new advancements in the work that you're doing? Like, what are you doing to kind of future prep?
Oh man, that's a very, very good question. So I'm very active on LinkedIn with Rep Genius, anybody in the business development sector, any startup companies. I have a personal email automation, LinkedIn automation that connects with recent co-founders in the AI space. So I am always looking forward to new technologies. I know there's a lot of startups trying to figure out the AI BDR that cold calls people like just an AI. I don't think so. The technology is far enough for companies to actually implement it, but it is one interesting sector that I'm looking at. We'll see where the technology takes us, but it could be, change the entire industry if they can get an AI chatbot to do, BDR's work at a quality as a AREP BDR. So it's an interesting software, interesting field that's currently being developed. I personally have a couple of friends that are actually in one of those companies that are trying to develop this software. Could look really interesting, but as a business development a guy myself, it could be a bit, like, am I really going to talk to an AI agent? Like, how far I can take this conversation to? But like, if you told me about ChatGPT 5 years ago, I would say you're just joking, right? So I don't know what's going to come up in future.
There was a whole bunch of kind of excitement or maybe fear even around this idea of people taking any like very short clips of your voice online from a video or something like that, and then putting it into something like 11 Labs and having them duplicate your voice and the implications of that. What do you see being the some of the bigger issues that we're about to face in terms of the dangers around AI and the implementation of these tools and automations?
If the general public is knowledgeable enough regarding these threats, cybersecurity threats, I know I've been seeing this a lot at the start when the AI voiceover started. Like, you would see Joe Rogan just advertising some random product on Instagram. I'm like, this is not him, right? So
my girlfriend actually fell for that on a TikTok video the other day. She's like, look, something. It was, I think it was Elon Musk's voice.
Yeah,
she's like, but it's Elon saying, and I'm like, no, baby, listen. you gotta dig a little bit deeper and look for like the pauses and the weird things that are happening, because like that's not how he talks, right? So that's you're right. There's some of those things there now that it's like same thing with deep fakes.
Yeah.
Deepfakes were a big challenge as well, because like fake news now, anybody can be made to say anything, and then when you couple that with this voice technology, it can be pretty dangerous. So in terms of where you're taking HUI and the company and what you guys are building out, do you have any future plans for additional services or maybe moving into different industries? What can you tell me about that sort of stuff?
Currently, our goal is to kind of understand what can this look like with the client long term. So a lot of companies look at agencies for business development, but you would rarely find an agency that takes care of a client for more than a year. So we're trying to understand how realistic it is to not only help the business with their outbound function, not only supercharge their calendar for an amount of set time. Is it possible for us to be a long-term channel partner and grow with the company? So that's the big question that we're currently facing. Obviously, our customer lifetime value is great, but how far we can take this?
Based on what you know and the experience that you have with the work that you've been doing, what advice would you share with other businesses that are kind of exploring or looking into how they can implement AI technology into their business?
Take as many demos as possible. Be nice to the BDRs that are giving you a call about trying to get you. I'll be honest with you. As a BDR myself, it's going to sound a bit base, but if you jump on a demo with someone, you make it very quick. You respect their time. You're like, listen, someone called me. You guys said that you guys can improve my operations. What can you do for me? Cut all the crap. I don't need to hear about the history. What actually can you do for us? Take as many demos as one. Talk to as many people as you can. Gather information and make a calculated decision on the purchase, right? So let's say you're looking into an AI dialer, right? Don't go on a single call and just pull the trigger, right? Take 5 and then understand what's the best fit for your business and move on. So same with any other industry. It's really, really important to look at the competitors and realize what's going to work for you.
Yeah, that's great advice. Wrapping things up here, we're just kind of coming to the end of it. Is there anything that you could share with the audience or people who may see this video to kind of dispel some myths and alleviate some of that fear and pain in terms of like making a decision when it comes to this sort of thing?
let's say you're purchasing in a dialer, right? You're a business development director, business development manager. Always involve the person that's actually going to use the software. So either bring your senior SDR, the team lead. Always ask for feedback. Get on a free trial. Ask for a free trial. Make sure that you're fully understanding the software. There's no missed spots, and try it out. If it works, great. If it not, just hand off the free trial and move to the next one. One other tip I can give is have notes of the discovery calls. The account execs are taking notes. We should do the same thing. So make sure that if they mention a price, if they mention a service, you take down those notes for the second call, because some of the time these guys would forget it. Maybe even they weren't telling you the right information. So important to be very collected, organized. Even though you are the one that's ultimately getting sold, it's very important to kind of make sure you're organized and you're writing down everything that the account exec's basically telling you.
Beautiful. That's wonderful advice. I think anybody that's listening or watching is definitely going to get a lot out of what you've shared so far. If somebody wanted to get in touch with you, Hayk, in terms of working with you in your business, how would one go about doing that?
Yeah, you can reach me at Hayk@HUIconsulting.ca. Ultimately, on our LinkedIn, we have a Calendly link. You can directly book a discovery call. We're very nice. Like I would say, like we just want to talk to you. Understand your problems. If we have a solution, we'll provide to you. And we try to make it very easy to work with us. The communication line is always open. We have a Slack channel together, and we try to integrate with your business as much as possible. So it's not going to be those random lead generation agencies that are just sending you emails and they're just sending you discovery calls. No, we're actually going to be a fractional business development function for your business, right? And ultimately that comes with cost savings and ultimately shortening your sales cycle.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining me on this call and sharing the wealth of knowledge that you have with the prospective audience. If you want to get in touch with us, you can reach us at nextgencalls.com. And otherwise, that's it for this. And we will see you in the next one.